Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Tradiest Trades back with another video here. Today, I'm going to take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is looking interesting to me. I'm going to do just an overall big picture analysis, then also show you what I'm looking at for more timely, immediate trades that I'm looking to take, not investment advice. This is just my thoughts. You're a big boy or a big girl. You can make your own decisions and take your own risks, and it's not my fault if you make or lose money. So there we go. That's out of the way. So what do I see on Bitcoin that's interesting? First thing that I'm noticing is that we just confirmed today a swing low on the weekly. So we took out last week's high. We put in a confirmed swing low in the marketplace. So the momentum is definitely shifting towards the upside. So a few things that I notice is, well, first of all, I'm going to be looking for longs, and I'm going to get into why. On the daily time frame, I'm looking for longs. I want to preempt that by showing that, it's too early to get really excited about a big bottom or a big up move in Bitcoin. And I'm going to show you why based on the trend mechanisms that I use to determine the trend, and therefore which direction is the most high probability. So using the Donchian channel, the 12 Donchian, and I'm on the weekly time frame here, we are in a bearish trend. So we've taken out the lowest low of the last 12 weeks. That tells us we're in a bearish trend. Pretty obvious just to look at price, but that's one way that I use to tell me is the trend up or down, and therefore where the higher probability trades. Then we also have the 18 moving average method. We had two closes below the 18 MA that weren't inside bars, which were these two bars here. And last week we took out the low of that bar, which is the follow through that we look for to confirm that this is a bearish trend. So why I'm looking for longs is because we just had a bullish momentum shift, and we did also have two daily trend changes that tell me the trend is bullish on the daily now. Now, when the trend is down using the 18 period moving average method, we can expect a bump and run. So price to come and bump into the 18 MA and then get further downside. So I'm not necessarily thinking that these longs that I'm going to show you that I'm looking to take are going to take us to new all-time highs. Need to be a lot of different things happen for me to get that bullish. And maybe I can give you some context by going to the monthly. So looking at the monthly time frame, you see I've marked off this monthly sell, and what that means is when price took out this low here, that just confirmed this swing high, which tells me the monthly momentum is to the downside. The monthly momentum is bearish. If in 15 days we get a candle close or a bar close here, and then we take out the high of this month, that will confirm a higher low on the monthly, and then I'll start to get really bullish. But for now, monthly momentum is still technically bearish. So that means, I'm not getting super bullish about all-time highs or anything too extreme just yet, especially when we look at the weekly chart and see that this 18 period moving average sloping down. We've had follow through below the low of those two bars below the 18 MA. 12 Donchian is bearish. The weekly 50 period MA is up, so that's bullish. But these trend change mechanisms, the 12 Donchian and 18 MA, they move faster than the 50 period moving average. So give us a clue of maybe where the trend is going before this 18 period moving average does. So all that said, why am I looking for longs right now? So the main premise is, first of all, we've confirmed a swing low on the weekly. So that's the first thing. I know there is some momentum to the upside on the weekly. Now, in order for me to look for longs, I needed to see a confirmation of trend change on the daily time frame. And when I'm looking on the daily for my entries, I primarily focus on the 18 period moving average for my confirmation. So what we had was two consecutive closes above the 18 MA, and they were not inside bars. And then we had the follow through here this morning, trading above that. So that to me is confirmed that the trend is switched to being a bullish trend on the daily time frame. And that gives me the authority to look for, or the go ahead to look for buy signals on the pullbacks, basically buy the dips. We also had the 12 Donchian trigger today. So we basically had the weekly swing low and these daily bullish trend confirmations trigger at the exact same time. It doesn't always happen like that. So that's why I'm looking for longs. Now, what would a long be? And I primarily just be using the percent R. And we look at the percent R, and once it's one of these, I use the 4, the 10, and the 14. Once one of these starts closing below 50, that's getting into oversold territory for me. And then I'd be placing buy stops at the high of each daily bar where there was a close below the 50 portion of this percent R. So basically, in other words, I'm not buying right now. I want to see a bit of a pullback. So what would also get me a lot more bullish would be is if we can have a full-on Williams true trend change. And what that is I'll throw these the market structure back on here. We see these zigzags. So we see right now the market structure is bearish. So the market was making higher highs, and higher lows. Right here, we had a bearish structure shift where we started making lower lows, and then we made a lower high here, then we made a lower low here. So my question is, can the bull step up and put in a higher high here? Bearing in mind that the trend is, technically down based on a few of the things I outlined at the start of the video, and could see some pretty significant resistance once we get up into that 91,000 range, 90 to 91,000 range, this 18 period of moving average. And we could get what's called the bump and run sell, or it's a kiss and collapse. It's a Larry Williams term, where we trade up into here, and we basically, once we trade up into here and we trade below the low of a previous bar, that's a sell signal for a continuation of the downtrend. So that's why I'm saying I'm not uber super bullish, but right now, as of this moment in this point in time, the momentum is shifting, and it's shifted enough for me to say, you know what, I don't want to look for shorts anymore. Shorts were high probability on the way down here. Like if we look at the monthly, I'll just kind of show you how I traded Bitcoin using this exact same way of thinking on the way down. So we had a monthly sell trigger, or monthly momentum started to shift bearish here when we took out January's lows. Then on the daily, come in here, and I'll just tidy up the chart a little bit so it's not so cluttered. Get rid of the market structure. Okay, so when we took out this level, we came up, we got overbought on the percent R, sell stop below the low, something like that, and then basically trailing the stop on the way down. Here it happened again. We came up, got overbought, sell stop below the low of the day that got overbought. We see it didn't get triggered. It got triggered, didn't get triggered till up here, which is a great time to sell. It got triggered right there on that day. And then basically using extensions of swings, target would have been right around there. So that's how this is the same approach that I'm using to show you why I'm looking to long. We've got weekly momentum, and the daily is in alignment with the weekly. So even though the weekly is out of sync with the monthly, I wouldn't be taking shorts right now anyways, because the trend has changed on the daily time frame with the 18 period moving average method today. So I would need for a bearish trend shift to happen before I could look for sells in alignment with the monthly momentum. So the weekly is shifting, the daily is shifting. I'm willing to take longs. And if we take a look over here, I shared this in my Discord in my weekly COT report that I have been looking for longs on Bitcoin, and I'll just show you why. So the green line here is the small speculators. They're extremely bearish right now. So I primarily pay attention to the small speculators in the Bitcoin market. So when they get extremely bearish, I generally like to look for longs. Then last week, the investment advisor sentiment index was very bearish. So basically, the people that tell their clients what to buy and sell, they get very emotional at extremes, and they're often very wrong at extremes. So we saw the public and the advisors getting very bearish. So that's a nice bottom signal on Bitcoin. Then valuation measure here, we see that the Bitcoin market is undervalued versus gold, and that's the primary measurement I use for valuation for Bitcoin. But we also see it was undervalued versus treasuries in US dollar as well, so extremely undervalued. And what else is there? The seasonal isn't really in alignment. This is the true seasonal based on 10,000 weekly bars. See, the true seasonal is actually to go down until July. I prefer to pay attention to positioning, and if the seasonal isn't in alignment with the positioning, I will tend to ignore the seasonal, because positioning right now trumps what's happened in the past all the time. Then what's interesting here is, there have been signs of accumulation at the lows. So we had price made a lower low here while the Progo made a higher low. So that's just showing that the professionals are really buying this dip. It's being accumulated heavily by the professionals. We also see here on the Progo, the red line is just about to cross over the green line. And what that means is that the professionals, if the red line closes above the green line, the professionals are in control of the buying. The professionals are buying this up. The public tends to try to buy on the way down. Look at the green line. These guys, when the green line is above the red line, we tend to expect prices to decrease. So I'll be really curious to see if we can get the Progo to close above here and have a sustained move above the green line, because that would tell me that the professionals are indeed involved in this market, and we should expect it to go up quite a bit. We also saw some divergence here on the price, open interest, and volume. So seeing some divergence there tells us again that this dip has been accumulated by the professionals. So the only thing I will point out that maybe suggests that this little rally we're seeing today that's triggered these trend changes will be short-lived and maybe have a bit of a pullback, which I'm going to look to buy, is the ADX. So we see here the ADX has gone down while price has increased. So basically ADX tells us about the trend's integrity. So this up move lacks integrity. So I would definitely expect a pullback here. And I don't expect it to make a lower low based on all the things that I've just gone over. There's enough bullish momentum that I think we could see a higher low and then a continuation. And that's where I'm going to be looking to get long. So hope you guys found this valuable. I usually just do COT stuff on my channel. So this is more price action based analysis, how I'm looking to participate in this market. And looking at Bitcoin right now, it is very interesting. We're at a bit of a shifting point here, and thought it was a timely update that you guys could learn something from. So if you liked it, feel free to shoot me an email at tradiustrades@gmail.com, and I can get you into my free Discord where I share insights like this as well as COT analysis. Great crew of people in there, so come and get to know them and myself. Also, if you like this, make sure you like my channel, like the video, share it with your friends on your socials. Get this message out there. Hopefully you learn something from my video, and then hopefully other people that see it when you share it can also learn something good and incorporate it into their trading, and ultimately take something away that makes you a better trader and someone else a better trader. So appreciate it. We'll see how this move plays out. And until next time, everybody, have a great week.